From Cerbat Lanes and Kingman here for the title matches of today's JBT event. A season opener for the Mojave Conference also counts for Arizona Conference points. In the handicap division, top seed Zach Evans from Bullhead nearby is taking on New Mexico's Carson Belknap. He's been on some kind of roll the last really 6 months on tour. Back in Pohaki's when he kind of made his breakthrough, and he's virtually never stopped ever since. Looking at another title to his two-title collection, while Zach looking to break through for his first after some previous close calls. He's been getting better and better, both these kids have. And indicative of their lower handicaps, 19 versus 21. So Carson's got to win this match by 2 to tie, 3 to win. He's got an early lead with spare double in his first 3 frames, while Evans has remained clean without a double. To the right, we got a real contrast here as ancient Brock Bivens, 37, 22, I don't know, he's 22. This is his senior season with us, taking on 13-year-old Gavin Fernandez. We say it every single week. It is not the age, it is the talent. That is the overriding factor. You don't have to do that today. You're on the show anyway. See, there you go. Gavin loves to get his little appearance in on camera no matter what, but he's going to get a lot of camera time today as he is one of the final 2 standing after an exciting semifinal win over Dylan Donahue. He finds himself bowling for his first career scratch title after 2 previous handicap wins. Always well dressed. If you looked at our slideshow pictures from the TPC dinner, that is the man that was in that purple pimp outfit. I don't know how else to say it. What else do we call it? Dinner is looking very suave. Still looking good in the watermelon outfit today. He struck in his first. Will remain tied if he can spare up that 2-4-7. Carson 17 from Rio Rancho. He was there 2 weeks ago for the adult New Mexico Open. We'll be right back there in 2 weeks for the youth New Mexico Open, where Steve Mackey added $5,000 to the prize fund, so that's a definite can't miss event. We'll have to see a full house out there. Evans blasted the high game of the day in the handicap division, a 280 scratch, which I believe is the high game in either division today, which gave him the old 301 handicap. No! Get down, 7-pin, he said. He did. Second strike of the match, and he's needing him right now as Belknap is in the zone. He had a, 6 or 7 bagger last game? Something like that, and he's got spare 4 bagger to open it up. Both these guys can strike. Both these guys are going to have some decisions to make. You're re-rated after each JBT event, and those re-rates are much steeper at the start of the season when you're dividing up fewer games. Zach, the tournament leader, at plus 290, Belknap behind at plus 262, so they're both going to lose most of their handicap overnight, literally overnight. They'll have to do the small picture of what to do tomorrow, and then the big picture of what to do season long. Is obviously both of these guys will be starting off in all-star team and bowler of the year position with these finals finishes. The constantly consistent Bivens, that is maximum emotion you're seeing out of him right now. All he does is just bludgeon the 1-3 pocket to death. Such a good shot maker. Carson's been making great shots too, and how about 5 in a row? One Belknap was enough today to make the title match. I understand we're throwing the sisters at the field tomorrow too, as Lexi and Kylie will be playing tomorrow. Bivens looking for 3 in a row and a 20-pin lead over there. No, doesn't get it. Bowled on Stonehenge today. On paper, it should be a pretty high-scoring pattern. It was definitely the highest-scoring event of the young season. -9 was the scratch cut, and about 60 up in handicap, very high. Not surprising. String ends at 5, but he leaves a makeable spare. Very makeable, just a 2-pin for him. A little trickier for Bivens. Hard and straight, avoid the chop. Good fundamentals. 12-pin lead. We talk about Gavin being just 13 years old in the scratch division. He's bowled scratch for a season and a half. Really took his lumps last year. There's no other way to sugarcoat it. He struggled. He bowled worse last year than he did 2 years ago. A part of that is a function of growing up. You know, you're getting taller. All kinds of different things going on, and that is very tough on any bowler physically. I think it's way tougher on two-handers because it's such a timing thing for two-handed bowlers that all of a sudden when your eye line is an inch higher than it was last week, you're an inch taller. It's just constant readjustments. That can be very frustrating as well. Obviously working hard on his game all the way through to the title match today as Evans really the first big blink after the double. He leaves that 10-pin and misses it. That is painful for Zach. Only a couple top 4 previously finishes for the 16-year-old from Bullhead, but he's been closer to that many times. He's been qualified leader, then had a not-so-hot second round, top couple seeds, and then match play goes poorly, and then right after whiffing a single pin, bowling can be cruel. Not a bad shot at all, and then a 4-9. Ugh. Up very quickly. He'll learn later to take his time on that. Up so fast that he's going ahead of Gavin here. You gotta stop and regroup at that point, but having said that, he almost makes it. If I was Gavin, I would have stepped off on that. Disappointing 2 frames for Zach. He's got to stay with it though. Dylan was in charge over in scratch last game, and he opened in his 8th and 9th to flip the match. This will be Carson in his 8th. Commandingly, just has to fill frames. Runner-up in the Invitational in the Mountain Conference last year to go with those 2 titles. A couple good shots away from being a 3-timer. That's wide. But there is a lot of friction out there, and it comes all the way back. Super nice kid. He apologized 50 times for beating his semifinal opponent, Braden Miller from Utah. I mean, it was a total genuine sorry, but are you really that sorry? You know, that's competition. That's how it is. Lane beats. Braden Miller, and Braden beat Lane Warner in round 1 of the handicap finals. So we had New Mexico, Arizona, Utah. And I'm not sure where Lane is from. Wide variety is what my point. Hey, big thanks to Kristen, the team, for hosting us. The Nadeau family owns this center now. They go back just a little ways in JBT history, back to the early years. DJ Sloan's kid bowled today, 3-time invitational champ. Generation 2 is in full effect. Thank you so much for the birthday well wishes. It's been a birthday week, for crying out loud. It's way too much fuss for a insignificant number. Next year we'll go wild. Well, mission accomplished. He fills the 8th and 9th. And that should do it. Meanwhile, both bowlers in scratch open in the 5th. Well, Zach had to figure he'd need a big game here, and a couple early 9 counts frustrated him, and then start to press just a little bit, and the back half of the game doesn't go the way you want. And then the wheels just come completely off. He entered at 176 today, started off with a bad first game, and then was fantastic from there. Scratch scores of 240, 230, 220, that 280 we talked about, and a 243 to grab the top seed in game 8. Single game title matches are a whole nother skill set to learn. To wait an hour to bowl, an incoming freight train in Belknap. There's the shot that he's been doing all day. Well, another lesson. I do know he's a big Giants fan, and I will be in his corner tomorrow night. I think trounce those ugly-ass Cowboys. Wait a second.
No, I'm 49.
So you should be all for this. So this should be wonder.
Cowboys by proxy.
I don't know about that. A Niners fan, Cowboy by proxy? I don't know there. I'll give you 3 stickers, Zach. Make it. Get him to refocus here.
Carson wants
What
3.
he shouldn't. Oh, sticker time, sticker time! Oh, I thought he was all over that. I was headed to the sticker pile. Good to get a smile on his face, which I know is a disappointing game for him, but he'll be back, I am sure of it. But there is a freight train from New Mexico running through the tour right now. My goodness. Bivens with a big opportunity here. He's got a strike up and a 7-pin lead, make it 17. I believe I'll double check the math when I focus on that in a second. Right now it's a victory lap for the Rio Ranchen. He was watching his favorite stars out in New Mexico. So was he a couple weeks ago. I think that's about it for the New Mexico crowd today. This time it's his turn to shine. 106 through 6 for Gavin. Yeah, it's a 17-pin lead, which Bivens can make 27 right here. You betcha. Well, now he finally does something wrong. Whiffs the 10 and the 10th for a 227 scratch game. That is plenty for a very impressive stepladder performance and a third career JBT title. All right, let's see what Fernandez can do in the back half of the game. Brock has put all the pressure on him here. But there is still time to do something about it. Right here, strike working is where he really needs it, and he shreds the rack. From a tough, competitive bowling family. He's got room for 226. Brock is pacing 212. So what a giant shot this is here in the 9th right now. Could set up anything. Maintain your form under pressure. Pulls up a little bit. Oh, but flushes it. 13 years old, guys. 13. Pretty darn impressive. Not just physically, but clearly mentally tough, too. But, I don't know, probably said it 50 times on camera. One of the scariest players on tour when the lanes are impossible, but go back and look at that record. He is a factor on any pattern. Softer today. Let's see if he can finish the deal. Oh, a little high, and the 4-9 is last to go. That puts him in the 220s, but he's below Gavin on count. So if Brock does not strike on this ball, Gavin can still win it. Strike here. He'll be a 12-time JBT champ. Ooh, little double dribble. Will it get back? Yes, it does. Wow. And that right there is the most emotion I've ever seen out of Brock Bivens in my life. Seriously, right? Have you ever seen him even do that much? Yeah, it just shows you, even at old man age for Bivens, these wins are hard to come by and still mean a lot to him. You'll get yours. You'll get yours. That was a good smile on cue, Caden. Well done. Keep it behind the line. Flush another 10 back. Well, Gavin did his job getting back in the match in 7, 8, and 9, but the veteran Bivens that he is goes back 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, back 6 to salt it away. I wonder if Brock and Carson ever won in the same tournament. Brock does a lot of damage out in the Mountain Conference as well. .241 is going to be that final, I believe. It's a whole new set of cartoons. I haven't seen this scoring system that often. Yeah. Well, great to see Gavin getting his game back together. Much more fun to be on camera when you're doing the bowling, even when it's this result. He's already in the 2 teens. Going to throw a very fine game. We'll see a lot more out of him. Get his brother on the show too And I really do think it's going to be a totally wide open year. He shreds the rack again. Pretty impressive stuff from all ages, all skill levels. Hopefully it'll be just as impressive and fun tomorrow. I'm sure it will be. It's going to be a busy day tomorrow. See how that all plays out. Little El Lofto on the last ball of the day for 223. Good stuff all day, good sportsmanship all around too. We'll do it all over again from here in Kingman tomorrow morning.